Hello my loves, today we are going to learn how to make this cute crop waffle stitches top. Okay, it's very easy to make. Okay, but if you have never made the waffle stitches before or you don't know how to make it, check my page. The video right before this one is a detailed explanation as to how to make the stitches. Okay, so it's very easy, don't worry. Let's just get started. Okay, these are the materials you are going to need: a pair of scissors, a tape measure, stitch marker or some stitch markers, a crochet needle or darning needle, and I'll be using a 4mm hook, and I'm also going to use this yarn. This is a used yarn. I unraveled it from the shorts you are seeing on the screen. This short has been lying down for months, so I decided to reuse the yarn for something else. Okay, I might as well unravel this too. I don't even remember what I was making if it's not enough. Okay, I have a lot of these. I turn them into cakes. Okay, so let's get started. So to start, you are going to make a slip knot. Okay, and this is how I make my slip knot. I show this in all of my tutorials. Okay, so you're just going to turn your yarn around, and this is also how I make my magic rings. Okay, insert your hook from beneath, yarn over. That's just it. Okay, so you're going to make a slip knot, and you're going to make a chain that is equivalent to half the measurement around your bust. Okay, so you have to grab your tape measure, take a measurement around your bust, however wide you want it, and divide that measurement into two. For instance, if you have 40 for the circumference, that means this chain should be equivalent to 20 inches. Okay, so just make a chain, and when you have a long one, you start measuring. If it is too long, you unravel. If it's too short, you keep adding until you have the exact measurement that you need. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, but in all I chained 76, and this is for size medium, size 12 or something, I don't know, but that's just it. You can use either ways. I don't really go with the counting of the chains because sometimes it depends on the yarn. I prefer measuring it to counting the chain. So just use your tape measure, right? So I'm going to make about 20 inches. So I'm going to measure this. Let's see. And do not stretch it too much, okay? Just normal. So it's just a little bit above 20. Only two chains. So I'm just going to unravel that. And that will be it, okay? So let's quickly move on to row 1. Okay, you're going to chain up 1, hold on to the chain here. You're going to insert your hook into the first chain here before you chain up the one. Okay, and you're going to make a single crochet, go into the next, make a single crochet, go into the next, make a single crochet, go into the next, single crochet. So you are going to put one single crochet in each and every one of the chains until you get to the last end. Okay, I believe we all know how to make single crochets, right? If you don't know how to make single crochets, run to my page. I have a tutorial there for you. Okay, so let's finish that and I'll be back at the last end. So I'm almost at the last end, sorry, and I'm just going to put my single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and inside that last chain you're going to put your last single crochet, and you should have something like this. Okay, so row 2, you are going to chain up 1, which counts as a stitch. You are going to turn your work around and go into the next single crochet with a single crochet. Okay, single crochet into the next, to the next with a single crochet. So you are going to just put single crochet in each one of the stitches until the last end, and you are going to repeat row 2 until you have about 9 rows. I made 9 rows. Okay, so you're going to do that until you have 9 rows, or more if you want, or less depending on what you want. Okay, it all depends on you, right? So let's make 9 rows or whatever you're making, and let's meet when we both have enough rows. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end of my last row, which is also my 9th row. Just going to go in there and put one single crochet in the last chain here. Okay, so this is what I have after 9 rows. Okay, so for the next row we are going to chain up 1. We are going to do something a little different. Okay, turn your work, and inside the next stitch you are going to put 2 single crochets. Okay, 1 and then 2, and the next stitch is going to take just 1 single crochet. The next one is going to take 2, 1 and 2. Okay, the next one will take 1, the next will take 2 and 2, the next one will take 1, the next will take 2. So you're going to alternate between 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochets in the next. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. You are going to just alternate between that until you get to the last end. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end. This one is just 1, so the next one is going to be 2 and 1, and inside the last part 1, 2, and the last one is going to get 1. Okay, this is how it looks like. So we are done with the single crochet rows. We are going to move on to double crochets. Okay, so we are going to start with row 1. This makes the last row here makes 10 rows of single crochets, right? So we are going to start with double crochet. So to start, you are going to chain up 2, which count as a stitch. Okay, so yarn over, turn your work, go into the next stitch with a double crochet, yarn over into the next stitch with a double crochet. We are not skipping, we are not doing anything, just one regular double crochet in each of the stitches until the last end. Okay, so let's do that quickly. Oh, sorry. Did I just do single crochet? So one double crochet in each of the stitches until you get to the last end, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end, and I'm just going to go ahead with my double crochet stitches to the last end. When you get here, you go into the chain that we made here with your last double crochet. Okay, and you should have something like this. Okay, so row 2, we are going to start with the waffle stitches. Okay, so you're going to chain up 2, which count as a double crochet, turn your work, yarn over, and go into the next stitch with a double crochet, yarn over, and inside the next stitch you are going to make a front post double crochet. Now before this video I already made a tutorial on how to make the waffle stitches. Okay, so you can pause, check my page, and watch that quickly and then come back. Okay, because for that one I took my time to explain, but if you're not a complete beginner then you can move on with this. Okay, so go into the next stitch, a regular double crochet, into the next stitch, a regular double crochet, into the next you are going to make a front post double crochet, okay, like that. Yarn over into the next one, regular double crochet, into the next regular double crochet, yarn over, and into the third one you're going to make a front post double crochet, right? So two regular double crochets, front post double crochet, two regular double crochets, front post, two regular double crochets, okay. So that is the first row for the waffles. So you are going to go on with that. The next one is going to be a front post. The next one is going to be a regular. The next one is a regular. And the next is a front post. Right? So this is how it looks like. Okay. So we are going to do this in all of the stitches until you get to the last end. Okay. So let's complete that. Like I said, if you are confused, if I'm moving too fast for you, there is a video just before this one. I'm going to leave the link in the description or in the comment section. Okay, check that out because that one, the explanation is very good. I took my time, and if you're a beginner, you should watch that before you come to this one. Okay, so let's end this row and I'll be back with the next row. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end. This is going to get a front post, regular, regular on the next, a front post on the last but one, and you are going to put a regular double crochet on the chain here. So you go into the second chain and you put a double crochet, sorry, like that. So this is how it looks like. You should have something like this. Okay, you can see that the stitches are almost popping out. The effect is already coming out. So we are going to start with row 3. You chain up 2, you turn your work. Okay guys, let me quickly show you something before we move on to the next row. Okay, so if you happen to end on the way we ended just before, that's fine, but you could also end with something like this. You have 3 stitches left, and the fourth, the one before the 3 stitches, is a front post, right? Meaning this is going to get a regular, this is going to get a regular, and the front post will land on the last stitch. But you can't have the effect won't really show on the last stitch here, the chain. So what you're going to do is you're going to put just one regular here instead of this and this, and you're going to put a front post in this one. Okay, do you see what's going on here? Instead of 2 regulars, we are making 1 regular and then 1 front post. Okay, and we go into the chain with a regular. So you have something like this instead of this. Instead of 2 regulars in the middle, you have only 1 in there. Okay, so I just thought someone might ask in the comments, so I decided to just explain before you get confused when you get there. Okay, so for this row, the stitches that had front post on the previous row here are going to get regular double crochets, right? So this was a front post, so it's going to get a regular double crochet, and those ones that had regular double crochet, they are going to get front post. Okay, so we are going to go behind that and put a front post, go behind that and put a front post. The next one was a front post over here, so it's going to get a regular double crochet, or you can also view it as those stitches that are popping towards you, these ones, they always get the front post, and the ones that are like behind, it's almost like it's hiding away, it's behind here, those ones are going to get the regular double crochet. If you understand it this way, you don't get confused on any row. Okay, so that is just it. That is going to be the repeat. Whenever you turn your work, you repeat the previous row. You exchange these ones that got regular double crochet had front post here, and this one, they're the single ones that had front post get regular double crochet. And on your next row, you realize that those that have front post are going to get regular double crochet. So let's get there, you understand better. Okay, and this is supposed to be the back of the waffles. Okay, and you're going to go in there with a regular. If you don't understand, I know I'm speeding because I already have a detailed explanation to this, and it's the link is in my comments, in the comment section or in the description, or if you go to my page, it's the video that comes right before this one. Okay, so if you are confused about the stitches, go there, learn how to make the stitches, and then come back to this. Okay, we can choose to call this a part 2 of that, because in that I didn't make any project. I just explained how to make the waffle stitches because I wanted this particular tutorial to be easy for me. I didn't want to waste so much time explaining how to make the waffles. So run there, watch that. It's very easy, you understand very easily, and then you can come back to this. Okay, but if you know how to make the waffle stitches already, oh, I think I made a mistake here. I made 2 front posts instead of 1. I'll just unravel and come back there and I'll correct that. Okay, so don't worry at all. So go and watch that. But if you're okay with this, then we can move on. So if you see this side, the ruffles are beginning to pop out, right? The effect is already coming out. So let's finish the row. You are going to do the same thing up to the last end, and I'll be back when I am here. Okay, and I'll show you how to make the next row. So I'm almost at the last end. You're going to put a front post in here, a regular in here, 2 front posts, 1 regular, front post, and then we put a chain, a double crochet in the chain here. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It should have something like this. Okay, and this is how the back looks like. So let's move on to the next row. You're going to chain up 2 like we normally do, yarn over, turn your work, and this time you're going to put a normal double crochet, a regular one in this, and these ones are going to get front post. Okay, so regular double crochet. Remember, these ones got regular double crochets in the previous row, and now they're getting front post. So 1 regular double crochet, a front post, 2 regular double crochets in here, 1 front post, 2 regular, and 1 front post. So they follow each other like that, right? On the previous row it was 1 regular double crochet, 2 front post, 1 regular double crochet, 2 front post, and on the next row 1 front post, 2 regular, 1 front post, 2 regular, 1 front post. So that is going to be the repeat for the entire panel. Okay, you alternate between the front post and the regular double crochets until you have enough rows for what you are using the stitches for. Okay, so you are going to continue until you have some more rows. So I made this panel here. So I'll give you the number of rows, but for now you are going to go on all the way up until we have the length that we are okay with. Okay, so let's do that, and I'll meet you when mine is long and full. Okay, so this is how it looks after row 4, right? 1 2 3 4. Yeah, you see that the effect is already popping out, right? So this is how it looks like at the end. I made a total of, I'm going to use the boxes to count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 1, okay? Then each box is 2 rows. So multiply the 17 by 2 and then you add the 1 here. And this measures 11 and a half inches, and this is without the shoulders, okay? So this is not the final length of the top, okay? We haven't added the shoulders yet. When you are done, you are going to make another one that's exactly like this, okay? Same measurements, the length from this side to this side, they should be the same, okay? But one is going to be the front panel and the other is going to be the back. So this is my front panel. Let me show you the other panel as well. Yeah, so they have to be the same, right? And this is going to be my back panel. So for the front panel, we are going to leave a space for the neckline and we are going to create our shoulders as well. So I'm going to count the number of boxes from this side to this side, and I'm going to take some out for the center, okay? I have 38 boxes. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, right? We have 38 boxes, and I want to leave 10 boxes for the neckline in the center. Okay, so when you subtract 10 from the 38, you are going to have 28, right? And 28 divided by 2 is going to be 14. So that means when I 14 and this side should be 14. Yes, we do a lot of mathematics in crocheting. It's not easy. Like it's you have to know how to do some little calculations. Okay, so I'm going to count from this side up to the 14th box, and from this side up to the 14th box. Okay, and the middle one will be our neckline. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I can put my stitch marker here, and I'll do same for this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Stitch marker, where are you? Okay, let me put this here. Okay, so I can put my stitch marker here, which is the 14th box. Okay, so we are going to, but between this stitch and this stitch, you have to choose one. Okay, it wouldn't really make a lot of difference, so that's why I didn't talk about that, but you have to definitely end on one. Okay, and remember, you're going to put your hair through this when you're wearing the top, so it'd be better if we land on this. Okay, so let's start with the shoulders and the neck. I've already started. You are going to go ahead. I'll bring this down and continue just like we were doing until you get to where the stitch marker is. So let's continue until we get to the side. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end. To go in here in my front post, and I'm going to put my last regular double crochet on this stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, and that marks the end of row 1 of the shoulder. Okay, so we are going to chain up to, just like we were doing, turn your work and go into that with a normal regular double crochet, and front post here, front post here, normal double crochet in here, like that. Okay, so it's that simple. You're going to continue like that until you get to the last end, and when you get to the end, you go back and forth like that for about 4 rows or 5. I'm not really sure. When you are done, you attach a yarn here, and then you go back and forth on this side, so you repeat the same thing. Okay, you attach it at where my stitch marker is. So let me take the stitch marker out and put it in this one instead. So I'll finish with a number of rows here, and I'll be back to show you how to start with this side. Okay, so this is how it looks like after, let me count, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of that. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing to this side. I'm going to insert my hook here and attach a yarn. Okay, I'm just going to make a knot. Go in there with my hook, chain up 1 to secure it, right? Chain 2, 1 and 2, and then, okay, let me bring this down. Sorry. And we are going to make a front post here, a regular double crochet, like that. So when you get back, you put 1 regular double crochet in the chain, right? And you are going to make the same number of rows as this side, okay? And I'll be back when I am done with this side, okay? So this is what we have at the end. All right. So now that we are done with the neckline and the shoulders for the front panel, let's move on to the back panel, okay? So this is the back panel, and remember before we added this and this, they were both the same, right? So what we are going to do with the back panel is, for the neckline we are going to do a cutout here, all right, but we are not going to make it as deep as the front panel because we wouldn't want the neck so deep down like that, and we wouldn't want it so up attacking our necks. Okay, we don't want that. So what we are going to do is we are going to increase the number of rows for the back panel until it is the same as this length all the way up to this side. Okay, and then we are just going to make 4 rows for the cutout for the back panel. Okay, so we will fill this side. We are just going to go back and forth until this side will be filled, right? Until we have the number of rows the same as this one all the way up to somewhere here. This is 7 rows, so maybe 4, and then we will leave 3 for the cutout. So the cutouts for the back panel isn't going to be as deep as the front panel. I hope you understand. The length of this, the front and the back panel, they have to be the same. The length from this side to down, they have to be the same. Okay, so if you are going to leave a shorter cutout, that means we have to go up a bit until we are almost close to the same length as this, and then we leave the cutout. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to continue with that until I am there. I have the number of rows that I am okay with, and then I'll be back and I'll show you how many rows I left for the back panel, the cutout, okay, the neck. All right. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, right? This is the front panel and this is the back panel. And you want to make sure that the back side is facing the back side on this side, okay? And this is the front area and this is also the front area, right? So I had 21 boxes from this side down here all the way up to the shoulder, right? So 21 times 2, I said each box here makes 2 rows, right? So 21 making 42 rows in total. And I have 19 boxes on this side making 38 rows, right? Each box is 2 rows, which means we have 4 more rows before this is equal to this, the length on this side, okay? Which um 4 rows is also 2 boxes, right? Like I said, 2 boxes is always 4 rows. So we are going to add 4 more rows, but with the 4 rows that is left before they are equal, we are going to cut out the neckline with that, okay? So we are going to use the same method we use on this side, on the back panel, and then we are going to create that shoulder for it to meet this one. I hope you understand. So it's just the same as we did. You can just rewind and repeat the same thing we did here. The number of stitches here on this side is supposed to be equal to the number you are going to leave here. Okay, so you use the same method and create your shoulders and your neckline here, and then I'll be back when I have that. Okay, so this is what I have. This is what I was talking about. So you see that this area, the back panel is a bit up higher than the front panel, right? But they are the same at this side. So I made two boxes here, which is also 4 rows. So now that we are done with the neckline and the shoulders, we are going to join them together. We are going to join the shoulders on this side and on this side too, right? And after that, we'll move to the arms. Okay, so I'm going to grab my darning needle here, and I'm going to insert my yarn into that. I'm going to join the shoulders. Okay, so the back area is facing the back area here. So I'm just going to insert my hook through the first stitch here and then pull through like that. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch and then insert it into the corresponding stitch and then pull like that. I'm going to go through the next one into the next one, then I'm going to pull into the next. Because they have the same number of rows, the same number of stitches, you just have to make sure that each stitch has a corresponding stitch, right? So this is how it looks like. You are going to have something like this all the way up to the side. So when you are done, you insert another yarn through the hook, the needle, then you do the same for this side, right? So I'll be back when I'm done with both sides. So this is what we have at the end. After weaving it, this is how it looks like. I mean, after sewing them together, this is what we have. Let me open it. This is the neck hole, right? This is the back side. You do realize that this side is the same as this side, right? And this is the front side. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the arms, right? So let me turn this around and I'll bring this up. So this is what we have, right? Now for the arms, you are going to grab your tape measure like that, and you are going to measure your arms around, right? And whatever measurement you get, I am going to use 16 inches. Okay, so whatever measurement you get, you are going to divide that into two. So I am going to be using 16 inches. Mine is 16. Divide that into two and you're going to have 8 inches, right? So that means 8 inches on the front panel, 8 inches on the back panel. So we are going to use our tape measure to measure 8 inches. Make sure you know where the seam is. Okay, you're going to place our tape measure here and measure 8 inches here. Okay, so I'm going to put a stitch marker on that, and we do the same for this side. You put it at where the seam is and you measure 8 inches. Okay, so when you are done, you have to make sure that the number of boxes here is also the same as the number of boxes here, because it could be that when you are measuring on the other side it's stretched a little or something. So you have to check. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 boxes here, and this side 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. I hope you guys understand. So the same number of boxes on this side, the same number of boxes on the side. 8 inches here, 8 inches here. And we are going to attach our yarn here. and then go all the way up to this side. Okay, so let's start that. So I'm just going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, and chain out 2, which count as a double crochet, right? Yarn over, go into the next available space and put a double crochet. Yarn over, go into the next stitch here with a double crochet, into that space with a double crochet. So you are just going to put double crochets in the spaces here all the way up to where the stitch marker is over here. Okay, now if you want your arm to be very huge, you can put multiple double crochets in the spaces, the bigger spaces, but if not, you can just put 2 double crochets in the bigger spaces and 1 double crochet in the tiny spaces. Okay, so do that all the way up to where the stitch marker is, and I will meet you. Okay, so I'm going to put my last double crochet in here. So when you get to where the stitch marker is, you can now just take it off, and now this is how it looks like, right? So on your next row, here is what there's a little change here. You're going to turn your work around, and you are going to check which side you are working. When you turn your work and you're about to start your next row, okay, you're going to your next row should be the same pattern as the one that is facing you this side. Okay, now this is the back part, right? The back area, and this is the front area. Okay, so our pattern on the first row has to look like what we are seeing here, and for this side it was 2 front post, 1 normal double crochet, right? 2 front post, 1 normal double. That was what we're doing for this part, and this was 1 front post, 2 regular double crochet. So that's the same thing you're going to do here. And in case you started from this side and ended on this, when you turn your work, you'll be facing this side, so you are going to use the stitches that you used here. Okay, don't get confused, you understand soon. Oh, I've unraveled one accidentally. Let me just do that real quick. So for row 2, you're going to insert your hook, chain up 2, which should count as a double crochet, right? Yarn over, and we are going to make 2 front posts and 1 regular double crochet. Okay, so go behind our stitch and make a front post, go behind it and make a front post. Okay, yarn over, the next one is going to get a regular double crochet, the next one is a front post, the next one is a front post. Okay, the next one is a regular double crochet, and then a front post and a front post, a regular double crochet, front post, front post. You see, so it looks exactly like this side. Okay, if you don't do it this way, you end up making the front stitches here, and the back area is going to have front stitches area, front area for the arms. They have to be the same. Okay, the back area for the arm should be the same as this side. Okay, so when you turn it, this side is going to be the front stitches and it will look the same as this side. Okay, and it's the same when you start on the opposite side. You can start on either side. If you are going to start from here, then your stitches here should be the same as the front stitches here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and complete that all the way up to this side. When I get here on my next row, I'll show you how it looks like. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end, and I'm going to put a front post in here, a regular double crochet in here, and remember we started with a chain, right? So inside the last chain I'm going to go in with a double crochet. Okay, so this is how it looks like, exactly like this side. And when you turn it, it's already turning out like this side, right? So for round 3, just going to be a repeat of what we did on this side. You're just going to chain up 2, turn your work around, yarn over, and this was a front post. So this was a regular double crochet, so it gets a front post, right? Yarn over. These were front post, so they get regular double crochets, regular. The next one it gets a front post. The next ones are going to get regular, regular, then front post. This is how it looks. So it's basically the same as what we did here and this side. Okay, so you're just going to go back and forth until you have enough length for the arms. Okay, so I'll do both sides and I'll be back and we can continue. Okay, so just make some more rows and I'll be back. Okay, so this is where we are now. This is going to be the arm and the other side, like I said. So this length is enough for my arms, and I made a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and half boxes. Okay, you multiply that by 2 and you have the total number of rows, right? So this is the front panel, this is the back panel. All right, so I'm just going to lift it up and fold it together, and this is how it looks like, right? Let me turn it around. Okay, so this is what we have. So our next step is we are going to work on the tip of the arms. Okay, but also before we work on the tip here, we have to sew this side together, this side and this side together. So I'm going to grab my darning needle, my yarn needle, and then sew from this side all the way up to this side. Okay, and I'll do same for this side as well. Okay, so we sew them together first, the two panels. We sew them together first, and then we do the tip. Okay, so let's get right into that. So this is it. Just going to sew it from this side, right? So I'm having my yarn needle. I'm just going to insert this into that and then pull. Make sure it's long enough to cover from this side all the way to the tip. If it's not, you can just add more. Okay, so I'll put them together like that, and I'm going to insert my hook through here and pull this. It's quite long, and I'm going to go over it one more time just to secure it, right? Okay, I'm going to go into the next stitch here and go into the corresponding stitch and then pull. I've used this method in a lot of my tutorials. Okay, it's very easy, but you can use single crochets, you can use slip stitches, you can use whatever method you're okay with to close them. Okay, this is what I prefer. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I get to this side, the tip here. Okay, and I'll do the same for the other side as well. So I'll be back when I am done. Okay, so this is how it looks like on the front side, and this is how it looks like the back side. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm just going to complete that. So at the last tip, you're just going to go into that and go in here and then sew like that. So this is what we have. Okay, now we are going to go on and finish with the tip. Okay, so I'm going to go in here with a slip stitch like that. Okay, chain up one, make it tight, go into the same stitch where you had a slip stitch. Okay, make a single crochet, go into the next stitch and make a single crochet, to the next stitch, make a single crochet, to the next single crochet in the next. So we are going to put one single crochet in each and every single stitch until the last end. Okay, you are going to put it all the way around until you get to this side. Okay, so let's do that quickly. Now I'll be back when I am back to this point. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end, and when I got here I yarned over the yarn that I used to sew them together. So that's how come you are seeing this here. Okay, so I'm going to go in the next single crochet, sorry, single crochet, single crochet in here, and then you're going to go into the first single crochet here and put a slip stitch. Okay, now you're moving on to round 2. Okay, so you're going to yarn chain up 1, turn your work, and I'm going to freehand this. Okay, because this will depend on how wide you want the fist the wrist, sorry, how wide you want the wrist to be. So I'm just going to chain up 1, go into this, make a single crochet, and I'm going to make 4 single crochets and then reduce. Okay, so the first one will count as 1, next one will be 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth and sixth stitches, I'm going to put them together. I'm going to make a reduction. So set your hook, pull up a loop. You don't complete a single crochet, you go into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, then I make 4 stitches again, 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the fifth and the sixth, I'm going to put them together like I just did. Okay, you don't complete a single crochet, you go into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then I make 4 again. So I'm going to do this for the entire round until I'm on my next round, and I'll reduce again until I have a size that is okay for my wrist. Okay, so let's do that. I'll be back with the round 3. Okay, so I'm almost at the last end. I'm going to go in there, and then I'm going to reduce on the last 2. And then you're going to go into the single crochet here and make a slip stitch like that. Okay, at this point the hole is still very wide, so we have to make a huge decreases. Okay, so that it can become closed, sorry. So I'm going to chain up 1, turn my work, go into the same stitch with a single crochet, and then that will be 2 stitches, right? So I'm going to make a reduction on the 3rd and the 4th. Okay, 1, 2, and then I reduce on the 3rd and the 4th like that. Okay, so I'm going to do this all the way around, and I'll be back with the next row. Okay, with this, if you are doing it, you just have to imagine it and freehand it or something. Okay, it's not that difficult. You can do this all on your own. Okay, so let's complete the round real quick, and then we'll move on to the next round. So I'm at the last end. I'm going to reduce on the last 2 stitches, go into this and make a slip stitch. Okay, chain up 1. So this is how it looks now. It's still quite wide. We have to still reduce. Okay, so on our next round, I've already chained 1. We're going to turn our work, and I'm going to go in here with a single crochet, and this time it's going to be 2, and then reduce, decrease, and then 3, 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. The next one is going to be 2, 1, 2, and then decrease. The next one is going to be 3, 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. So we make 2 stitches, we decrease, we make 3 stitches, we decrease. 2 stitches, we decrease, 3 stitches, we decrease. Okay, so that is going to be for the next round. Alright, okay, and you are going to go into the first stitch here and make a slip stitch, chain up 1. This is what we have. Okay, so as it's getting smaller, you have to put your hand in it to be sure if you are okay. This is still very wide for me, so I'm still going to make 1 more row of decreases, and that is going to be chain up 1, turn your work, go into the same stitch with a single crochet. Okay, that will be 4, and a decrease because we don't want it to be too small too. Okay, so let's make 4 stitches and a decrease. If you make a decrease and then you think it's too much, you can just go back. Okay, it's nothing difficult. So 4 stitches and then a decrease, or you can even make 3. I think 2 will be too much, so 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a decrease like that. Okay, so I'll be back when I am at the last end. So I am ending, and this ended on a reduction, and I'm going to just slip stitch in here, chain up 1, and this is how it looks. This is what we have. Okay, so at this point I think the hole is enough. I'm just going to put my hand through to see. Okay, this is the space that is left, so I think that's okay. You wouldn't want to make it too tight, else you can't get your hand through it nor put your hand out easily. Okay, so what I have is enough for me. Okay, so after this, after you have the hole that is okay for you, you are going to just do regular single crochets all the way around, no reductions anymore, just regular single crochets all the way around, and you are going to go for some rows. You are going to make some rows, about maybe 5 to 10 rows of regular single crochets, and then if the length is enough for you, you can end there. Okay, so the only important thing here is the reductions. Okay, the decreases. After you have enough, you are just going to put 1 single crochet in each of the stitches, each one of them. They are going to keep repeat. When you get here, you turn your work like that, and you make about 5 to 10 rows, whatever that will be enough for you, and that will be it for the hand. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then Whatever we've done on this side, do the same thing on the other side. Exactly the same thing, okay? No difference, just the same on the other side. And after that, we will move on to the neck area, okay? So I'll be back when I am done. So I'm just going to attach my yarn here where we join the two panels. So anywhere around here is just fine. And do not worry, I've not changed hook size. I've just changed the type of hook because the one I was using decided to abandon me. It has vanished. I've searched everywhere, I don't find it. So let's stick with this, okay? Let me bring this down. Okay. And it's the same for the hand, just that we are not going to be making reductions or decreases. So I'm just going to go into the, oh, sorry, chin up one. I'm going to go into the same space and make a single crochet. Okay, go into the next space and put a single crochet, into the next space with a single crochet, single crochet. So it's just like what we did for the arms. Okay, just the difference is that this one we are not making any decreases, okay, and it's just one row repeat, just single crochet around, but make sure you're not making this too tight. There's the number of stitches here, it's not too tight, neither should it be too loose. But when you get here, there are double crochets here, so it's not difficult. You just put one single crochet in each stitch until you get to the last end. Okay, so let me get to the corner and then I can let you continue. So when you get to the corner, you can just put one single crochet in there, and then here, and now you are on top of the stitches over here, right? So you're just going to put one single crochet in each one of the stitches, and when you get to this side too, you just make sure it's not too tight, okay? So you're going to go all the way up to where we started from, and it's one row repeat, so you can make as many rows as you want. When you feel like you're okay with the length, then you stop, okay? So I'll be back when I have the full length. So this is how it looks. I made a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 regular single crochet rows, and this is what we have at the end. You can see that it's obvious that this side is the front area and this is the back area because this side is longer than this side, right? That is exactly what I was looking for. This is how the arms also look like at the end of the day. So that is just it. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. I will see you in my next. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, kindly subscribe and leave a comment, okay? And give this video a thumbs up if it was beneficial to you, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.